So the big news this morning coming out of Manchester United is that Jose Mourinho has been sacked. Dom McGuinness is with me on the phone. Dom, this was a bit of a surprise this morning, wasn't it?
Well, it's all to do with the timing, isn't it? I mean, it's interesting timing with Manchester United still in the Champions League, and obviously they had that knockout game in February with PSG. There were some suggestions that he might hang on, because obviously there's been unrest and the supporters aren't happy and things have gone wrong with players, obviously. It looks like he's lost the dressing room, but with them being in the Champions League, there was always just that question whether or not United would stick with him. But obviously there's a January transfer window as well to consider. And everything's just gone so wrong that the club have made the decision now. It's going to cost them a fair few quid because they did extend his contract, so he's going to walk away a very wealthy man. But that's the end of Jose after 2.5 years. The
timing of it is an interesting one. It's such a busy period over Christmas. It could go one of two ways, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they've got Cardiff, the tea-time game on Saturday away, and then Huddersfield Boxing Day and Bournemouth at home on the 30th of December. So just to see out this year, 3 games that you look at and you think, well, they could have been winnable games. And would they have been the games that could have, just maybe improved things a little bit for Jose Mourinho? They took care of Fulham easily enough, but to go out with a whimper against Liverpool is never going to be acceptable. And obviously that's inevitably the final straw.
As it stands, we understand that Michael Carrick will be in charge for the next 48 hours, and then there'll be an external interim manager brought in until the end of the season, and then another appointment then. I mean, the obvious contenders that are getting thrown around, Pochettino is a popular one among United fans, Zidane. What type of manager do you think they need, Dom?
Well, I think Pochettino's the name that's going to be top of the list, if you like. But, Manchester United isn't the force it once was, and it sounds incredible to think, given the success over the years. But now, if you're Pochettino and Spurs are moving into a new stadium, and there are world-class players like Harry Kane and Eriksen and players like that, do you necessarily think Manchester United is going to be a bigger, better job? Because maybe, that he feels that no, the project that he's overseen at Spurs is still to win anything, but he's not far away now. He might well think, well, no, I'd be daft to go anywhere. And Manchester United, if Jose Mourinho, can't get a tune out of those players in that dressing room, does he want to walk in there? And again, is it the structures at the club that maybe he'll feel are not in place? Maybe he's better off at Spurs. So it isn't a given by any stretch. So Manchester United, in terms of their full recruitment process, which will happen over the course of time now, obviously there will be an external caretaker brought in. Carrick and McKenna at the moment are going to take training. But it's going to be very, very interesting because it's going to be a pretty hard recruitment process, I feel, for them to get somebody like a Pochettino. Because, again, there aren't too many names that are going to be bandied around out there. But Pochettino, I'm sure, will be top of the list.
If you looking at the way that the managerial situation at United has gone in the post-Sir Alex era, obviously Moyes, Van Gaal and then Mourinho, do you think managers will be put off by the way that they've been treated, maybe not backed in the way that they would like, maybe not the players that they'd have liked brought in?
Well, I think anyone that walks in there now will have all sorts of points in there that they want to be clarified in terms of budgets, in terms of structures of the club, and will there be a director of football? That'd be one of the key things that obviously hasn't been addressed as yet. And, there's going to be lots and lots of questions for the man coming in, and obviously with what has happened since Sir Alex Ferguson retired with Moyes and Van Gaal, now Jose Mourinho. Yeah, having said that, a confident, self-assured manager who really does fancy a challenge might look at Manchester United and think, well, no, I am the man that can turn it around. I am the fella that can truly kind of follow a Sir Alex. It's not worked for 3 big names, and obviously Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho are stellar names in world football. Not happen for them, but maybe somebody with the real self-belief will think, well, yeah, I can be that person. So, I'm saying that obviously the recruitment process could be difficult, but look, there won't be any shortage of people wanting to manage Manchester United as well.
And just lastly, Dom, between now and the end of the season, what represents any kind of successful turnaround?
Well, basically, it will be just very, very interesting to see how Mourinho going affects the mood of the players and how they play, because obviously it's been the sour, dour football that really has driven the supporters mad. If they get some kind of freedom and expression and play creative, attack, which the fans always want, then they can get it a real go in the second half of the season. And obviously Champions League, PSG, that's coming up, so there are things to look forward to. The FA Cup will start in January as well, so it's not all doom and gloom. But 19 points off the top in 6th position is just nowhere near good enough when you get hammered by your bitterest rivals and also in the derby as well. So City and Liverpool have completely dealt with ease with Manchester United. It's just not acceptable.